Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. How's everybody doing today and what's going on? My name is Rex, and you are watching The Daily Chat Season 2, Episode 57 on twitch.tv/Lorex2015, beam.pro/Lorex2015, or youtube.com/guess what? Lorex2015. How's everybody been doing and what's going on? No show yesterday. There was a stream. We're still at 100% stream time. No show yesterday because Season 4 of Overwatch started, and I would be wildly irresponsible if I didn't spend 4 hours doing placement matches just to get paired into the Silver League. Nope, not salty about that at all. No, let's talk about that. Yeah, no, you heard me. That's right. Out of 10 placement matches, I won 8 of them. In any school I have ever gone to, 80% passes the class, okay? 80% is the goal to hit. I got paired in the Silver League. How in the blue dickens does that happen? Not only did I get paired into the Silver League, I got paired into the pleb level of the Silver League. I got a rating of 1,888. Okay, to break into silver is 1,500, and to break into gold is 2,000. I got paired on the high side of silver, but not high enough to win one game and go to gold. No, I still have to grind my happy little posterior right up to the gold level, which is insulting, to say the least. Cannot tell you how insulted I am. So wildly annoying. Give me 1 sec, guys. Let me just quickly close this door here. So, yeah, there was that. But there was big news actually yesterday. The much anticipated GTX 1080 Ti was finally announced and is coming out actually on March 5th. It's coming out next week. And the specs that they showed at GDC 2017 are, to say phenomenal for its price point would be almost insulting to a level. Because these specs are absolutely phenomenal. Now, if you don't have a good graphics card already, or you're using an old kind of a beater one, kind of like a GTX 780, 780 Ti, and even 980 Ti, you might want to look at upgrading. Right now is the time to upgrade because guess what? The GTX 1080 Ti is just phenomenal power to price performance. It's crazy how good it is. In fact, here, let's take a look at the IGN article and show you guys exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, that did not work as well as I hoped. Let's try and fix that. Oh, there it is. Got it. Okay, let's show you guys. There we go. There is the lovely window. So yes, here are the specs. So at a price point of $699 the GTX 1080 Ti will perform 35% faster than the current 1080, and it's even faster in games than the Titan X Pascal edition. This is actually a rectified article. It's faster than the Titan X Maxwell. I don't believe it's as fast as the Titan X Pascal or the Titan X XP edition. Spec-wise, the card is pretty beastly at 11 gigabytes of GDDR5X memory, which is the double bandwidth memory equivalent to like HBM2 or high bandwidth memory 2. 3,584 CUDA processors, a 1,582 boost clock speed, and for comparison, the $1,200 Titan XP has 12 gigabytes of GDDR5X, so 1 gig more, 3,584 CUDA cores, so the same amount, and a 1,531 boost clock, which is actually lower than the 1080 Ti, and both at a 250 watt power intake. As far as the real-world testing is concerned, the promotional page for the GPU compares this performance to the company's GTX-owned 980, which is what I use, showing the upgrade is better than double or even triple in some cases However, this is misleading. While the GTX 980 is a great GPU, it's nowhere near the level of a 1080 Ti, and it was already beaten by the GTX own 10 series. So, in fact, the 1080 the 980 was actually replaced or on par with the GTX 1060 tier card. And as we all know, the 60 tier cards are nothing special. They're the middle of the road budget economy cards. So there you guys have it. The GTX 1080 Ti is finally out, and oh my god, it looks absolutely amazing. Now, of course, they say that the Founders Editions are going to be the ones coming out first, which, as you would expect, is normal because Founders Editions cost more money, therefore, roll out the more expensive ones first. Same reason why they put the Titan out first before they put out the Ti of the 80 model, because that's just good business. That's just common sense. That's how you should be doing business. And I still am in awe of just the potential amount of money NVIDIA's about to make on this card. Now, AMD, let's talk about their competitor. AMD is no slouch. They're right now getting ready to roll out their Ryzen processors. And as we've all seen, Intel's already starting to try and curb that launch by dropping their CPUs by a minuscule amount, almost laughably amount. But still, they're trying to curb it just a little bit. And now we might see NVIDIA, it's no secret why the Ti came out at this particular time. It's no secret at all. Because we all speculated that it was going to come out at, CES. We all speculated it was going to come out at CES, and now we know why it didn't. Because at GDC now, they know that Vega, which is the next GPU line, is on the horizon. The RX 500 and all those other cards. They're right on the horizon. So it makes more business sense for them to launch it now and try and just soak up that market share as much as they can. Try and lock it down. Because while we know that AMD has worked tirelessly to build up their CPU lineup to make it a competitor to Intel, to try and get the competition in the GPU market, that's a separate division, that's separate engineering, and that's a separate budget. And we don't know if they're going to be able to go head-to-head with NVIDIA, because NVIDIA is really just, they're not only making waves in the GPU market, they're making waves in all markets. Like, as we saw at CES, the keynote speech, they're bored at this point. Essentially, they're going to go break into autonomous cars and just take over that market before it's even started. NVIDIA's already said, we're designing the small little supercomputer to run the car. What are you going to do? As any other company, when NVIDIA walks in and says, this is our land now, you got nothing. You're not going to do anything. Like, you're going to try, and I wish you the best of luck. I truly do. But I'm not holding my breath that you're going to do very well. NVIDIA has pioneered so much technology, so much engineering, and so many feats in just the computing realm. Not even graphics, but just general computing. They pioneered the concept of a general processing unit. Now, I could be wrong about that, but first time I heard of a GPU was from NVIDIA. So that's where I got it. So I'm assuming that's where parallel processing came from. If I'm wrong, please do tell me in the description, in the comments, on the channel down below. I'd be happy to always learn something. Be civil about it. Cannot stress that enough. Be civil. I've been getting so many stupid comments lately. And if you guys are wondering why I very rarely reply to comments on the videos or questions on my videos, mainly because I see the question, I look at my subscriber list. If you're not subbed to the YouTube channel, I'm not answering your question. It seems kind of selfish, and it kind of is, but it's also really reasonable, at least in my own mind, that if you want me to answer your question, help me out too. It's a quid pro quo system. I'm not here to I am here to dispense free advice. That's kind of how the internet works. But at the same time, though, I'm not here to dispense free personal advice. So, if you want that, hit the sub button. Simple as that. But that's pretty much only for the YouTube channel. I can't tell you guys, though, how excited I am for this. And I know I've been harping on it time and time and time again, but I just am. I'm so excited for this. At $699, it's such a bargain of a price. It's such a steal of a price for that power. And now take 30% of that. What's 30% of 700? $210? So I'm going to be looking at about $1,000 with taxes included. Taxes on that is what's 5% of 900? That's 90. Oh, 45. Okay, yeah. So I'm looking at about $1,000. I'm looking at about $1,000 for this card Canadian in Canadian wingdings. So it's still going to cost me a lot, but still a lot less than the $1,500 Titan XP. And $1,500 is me being incredibly generous. I think it might actually cost more than that. Let's take a quick look and just see how much does it cost. Now, I know you guys have no interest in this, but you know me, for the purposes of being factually accurate, at least as much as I try to be, we should probably look it up. And let's see here, Quadro. Wow. Okay. I guess my local computer store does not carry Titan cards. Interesting. Very interesting. Okay, yeah. So they're about $1,500. I'm just here for the 1080 Ti. I'm sure you are, Steve OG. I'm sure you are, man. How have you been, bud? How have you been? Man, did you see any of the presentation last night? You see any of the announcements or the spec sheets? Because they rolled those spec sheets out onto the stage, and they were shocking. Now, we, as always, we have to be careful of anything NVIDIA puts out, anything any company puts out as a data sheet. You do have to be a little bit skeptical of, is it right? Is it skewed in any way? And this is where people like Linus Tech Tips, OC3D TV come in. Any of those like benchmarking channels, that's where these people come in. These people come in to verify data. And I'm very curious to watch it. I'm not going to be buying mine until probably middle of the summer. June, July is when I'll get my 1080 Ti. And the reason why I'm waiting so long is, one, so I can build up the funds for it. And two, I want to make sure I get all the data verified. In case there's another RAM fiasco, I want to know about it ahead of time. And then I also want to get a third-party card. Now, the mistake I made with my GTX 980 was the fact that I got a reference card. Now, there's nothing wrong with the reference card. Please don't get that confused. There's nothing wrong with those reference cooler designs. In fact, NVIDIA on this new reference has redone everything. Dual cooling vapor chambers, better fans, better everything on the cooling side of it. But if you go to like Asus Strix or GTX Windforce, they have 0 dB fans, meaning if they don't break a certain load level, they don't even turn the fan on, which can drastically reduce the noise in a room. And for me, that's really important, because I'm in a studio. I want to make sure that I don't have fan noise coming over my microphone. Because as always, the higher end of the mic that you use, the more likely you are to pick up really stupid noises around you. So yeah, I'm gonna wait for I'm gonna get the third-party created fans. It's gonna be way better. I'm excited for it. I know you guys are too. And this is now gonna be a heated race. Because now we got AMD making a power play against Intel on the CPU side. We got NVIDIA making a power play against AMD on the graphics processor side. We got Vega on the horizon. We got Ryzen coming out next week. This is a very interesting time to see what is actually going to become the de facto default gamer computer system. Because right now, it's gonna be... It's a little bit odd. From just the specs that we've seen so far... Now, once again, these are all made by companies, so it's always up in the air. The AMD Ryzen 1700X is beating a $600 Intel processor. Right there, better for streaming right out the gate. You got it having only dual channel RAM versus quad channel on the Intel. Okay, so that puts Intel back ahead ever so slightly in the RAM department. You got PCI Express lanes. I think Intel has more. That Intel goes ahead again, but AMD is also like literally half the price or a third of the price than the Intel line. So that puts AMD ahead. It's such an interesting race to see where this is gonna go. Now, unfortunately, if you live anywhere but America, you're gonna get raked over the coals. I hate to tell you that, but I'm gonna feel it too. I priced out a new AMD Ryzen system here in Canada, $2,000, and for nothing exceptional. That's the processor, the motherboard, 2 hard drives, because you got to have an SSD and you got to have a regular traditional hard drive, GTX 1080 just to fill the price void of where the Ti would go, and then the power supply, and that came up to $2,000. And in Europe, you guys will probably feel the same hurt I'm gonna feel. So yeah, it's the exciting time for me, at least for me. I'm not sure for you guys, but at least for me. So let's switch gears now and let's talk about maker kind of stuff, and specifically the Raspberry Pi computers. If you don't know what those are, Raspberry Pi computers are little tiny credit card sized computers you can buy for $35. They're wildly cheap and very, very versatile because they're not a controller board. They're an actual computer. So they actually have like a gig of RAM, network capabilities, graphics capabilities. They have it all on chip. So they are very popular with maker people, who are people that make their own stuff. While sounds self-explanatory, you'd be surprised how many people don't know that. Anyways, there is a version of the Raspberry Pi that is called the Raspberry Pi Zero. It costs $10 and is an absolute bare bones computer. And what the Raspberry Pi Zero was designed for is for industrial purposes. It's meant for people to use in their industry to either hook up to other machinery or control stuff or whatever. And now the newest edition, the new Raspberry Pi Zero W edition, is gonna include a wireless LAN and Bluetooth connection on board. Not a huge thing. I'm not gonna lie. This is not like groundbreaking news. Every iteration of the Raspberry Pi always sees something new, something different, something a little bit more than the last version, and this happens all the time. Whereas the Raspberry Pi 2 was a huge leap over Raspberry Pi 1, Raspberry Pi 3 was leaps and bounds better than version 2, and this is the same thing. This is Raspberry Pi Zero W is pretty much the Raspberry Pi Zero 2. That's pretty much what this is. Now, if you're working in industry or you're a maker mover or want to learn coding, I advise you buy one of these. They're pretty great to learn on. And other than that, then this won't really affect you. But yeah, there you go. Raspberry Pi finally is bringing even the cheapy boards into the mainstream for people to use. Do you like sugar with your strawberries? That one American. Yeah, I do, man. I love sugar on my strawberries because you know what? How could you not? Just how could you not love sugar? In fact, I love sugar with hot fudge and a little bit of caramel. Little bit. In fact, you know what? Take the strawberries out. They're ruining my hot fudge. Hot fudge with caramel and sugar. Boom. Nailed it. Diabetes in a bowl. You got it, champ. Same. That's awesome. I will touch on this story in a second. But show of hands. Who here watches Facebook Live? Who here actually even knew that Facebook had a live service? Because a story that happens to, or an issue that happens to be persistent on, I guess, Facebook, I guess on YouTube, in some areas, is people offing themselves. That's right. People actually committing suicide on Facebook Live apparently is a big enough issue where Facebook is having to take steps to stop suicides going live. I don't know how this is a thing, but it is a thing. Facebook is an alarming phenomenon. People taking their own lives on its own live streaming service. Facebook is stepping up to efforts to prevent suicide. On Wednesday, Facebook announced they integrated real-time suicide prevention tools into Facebook Live. It also said that they offer live chat support from crisis support organizations such as the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline and the Crisis Text Line. If I stumble upon it, I'll click on it if I find it interesting, but not often. Well, you know, hey, the guy's trying to give you a quality show. It might be his last show ever. He's trying to help you out. The least he could do is watch, right? In January, a 14-year-old girl hung herself in a Florida foster home, and a 33-year-old aspiring actor shot himself in a car on Los Angeles Street, both on Facebook Live. A young Turkish man who had broken up with his girlfriend 12 years before committing suicide on Facebook. No one believed me when I said I would kill myself, so watch this. So now this is becoming such a growing and persistent issue that Facebook is having to take steps to actually help people. This is kind of something we always knew was a plausibility. We always knew that when people would have the ability to capture an audience, something like this would happen. This is not a shock. It even happened on TV years and years ago where an anchor woman shot herself because I don't know why. But if you look it up, she shot herself. And I commend Facebook. I commend Facebook for trying to curb the bad press that's coming from this. I'd flip if I saw suicide or attempt of it. Well, you know, man, it happens, though. That's the thing, though. It does happen. And people, I don't know, man. People are really messed up. I'll openly admit, I've thought about suicide on a large number of occasions. Large number. If Voodoo Panda ever comes back into the channel, she can tell you about some of them. She's been there to talk me off the ledge so many times. And, you know, for that's why she's one of my greatest friends I have. Is because if you go through something like that with someone, they're not just a regular person at that point anymore. They're now more than that. They're now more than just a random person. Like those type of people who, if you go through something like that, you really hold those people close to you. So Voodoo Panda can absolutely tell you about some horrific stuff I've gone through. And once again, this would be really bad press for Facebook. Facebook could have easily said, look, we offer a live streaming service. We're sad people use it to commit suicide. There's nothing we can do. We can't go into people's houses and stop them from doing it. But that would also bring on other bad press. So, you know, this is something that they're trying to curb the bad reputation that people are using Facebook to film their suicides on. And yeah, I don't know how well it's going to work. We're going to just wait to see and see how it goes. Unfortunately, we now have a growing series of young people and adults committing suicide, showing this on Facebook Live. The former president of the American Psychological Association said, there's always been a concern, will something like this cause an epidemic or a rash? She said, the answer is we don't know yet. Well, you're just really bad at your job then. But yeah, I'm happy. We'll see how it goes. We'll see what they intend to do. But yeah, it's apparently suicides on Facebook, people. It's a thing. I know that some of them have gone viral, other ones not so much. But yeah, it's a thing. Let's get into the last two articles we have for today, and then we'll talk about some Twitch stuff. Oh man, still got. I don't know why. I think there's too much humidity. I think I need to buy a dehumidifier for my house. But you guys know the Yahoo data breach story, right? You guys are fully aware of the Yahoo data breach thing, in that the CEO has been just a colossal potato when it comes to managing this. Twitch stuff? Yeah. We'll talk about some Twitch stuff, man. You know, like just people being stupid and other things like that. But the CEO of Yahoo has been an absolute potato. Yahoo Meyer, I don't know what her name is. But she has actually lost her bonus over those security breaches that occurred. Yahoo announced on Wednesday that the general counsel has resigned and that CEO Marissa Mayer would get no bonus for 2016 and forego any stock awards this year as a result of the company's handling of the 2014 security data breach. Ronald Bell stepped down as of Wednesday as general counsel and won't receive any severance. Ouch! Oh, ouch, man. The dude just lost his severance package. Oh, that's rough. Scott Breezy, how you doing, man? Yeah, it's in a regulatory filing. From Marissa Meyer's statement, I am the CEO of the company, and the incident happened during my tenure, and I've expressed my desire that my bonus be redistributed to our company's hardworking employees. So, yeah, guys. Yahoo and 2K17. Exactly, man. Exactly. Now, she's trying to spin this. She's trying to make this look good for herself. In that, you know, okay, I'm not going to take a bonus. I want that to the employees to get it. They deserve it more, etc., etc. But at the end of the day, look, you screwed up. Because you clearly don't have any knowledge of computers or data and you're all about business. Look, I'm all about business too. But I know enough about a PC to know that when a data breach occurs, you make sure anybody affected knows immediately so you can start to rectify the situation. You don't wait 3 years before it becomes to light and everyone is now like at huge potential for risk. No, she doesn't deserve anything. In fact, honestly, I am beyond blown away that not only did the deal only take, I think, like a $350 million hit or a $3 billion hit or something like that, it didn't lose much money. It didn't lose as much money as you would expect from the Verizon deal. But at the same time, though, she still has a job. How does that occur, man? We see executives get fired all the time over these type of blunders, over small little blunders. We see CEOs stepping down left and right. This chick cost millions of people their data, passwords, important emails, credit card information. We don't know what's stored on email accounts. And she still got a job. And a very, very well-paying one. Don't get it twisted. She probably gets paid $20 million a year, easily. So it's crazy how that works. But yeah, there you guys go. There's some slight goodness put out into the world. Now, let's get into the last topic of today, but let's go to the chat first, see what they have to say. Well, let's just blame Trump, and it seems to be the liberal way. Yeah. I'm getting real tired of hearing Donald Trump's name in any light, not positive or negative. I'm getting real tired of it. And it's not a you thing, man. It's just anytime I go to school, you gotta remember, when you go to university, every student, no matter what their hang on. Sorry. Give me a moment. There we go. Any student who goes to university automatically thinks that they're a politicalist expert. They all think that. I don't know where they get this idea from, but it's pretty annoying. And I have like 17-year-old children trying to tell me about politics. I am almost double the age of a 17-year-old. And I have lived through more presidents than they have ever seen. Okay? So it gets really annoying when I have these 17-year-old children trying to tell me about like Donald Trump and what he's bad for America. It's like, you have not lived long enough to actually be able to make a judgment call on a president's qualities, on a person's qualities. Like, you legitimately have not lived long enough. So, in fact, I remember on Valentine's Day, there were some nerds talking in the computer science lab about just hooking up in you know, adult activities of sort. And I was talking to another guy in my class about it. I was just, like, joking around because it's pretty funny to listen to nerds talk about, you know, intimate relations with another person, because you can tell some of them either haven't done it or did it and were so poor at it that they don't really know what's going on. So it's pretty hilarious. Okay, now I'm no Casanova, but I've had enough relations where I can speak on authority, if you get my drift. Anyway, this little idiot comes down. And me and this other dude, we're talking, and he's like, yeah, you know what else is really sad? Donald Trump. And I just looked at him. I'm like, shh, go away. It's like, I just told him, like, go away, just don't. In fact, he tried to persist it further, and the guy next to him, the guy I was talking to, is like, no, just no. It's like, oh my God. when going to university, every person in there thinks that they are a political science major when they get their information from memes and Facebook. Yeah, I know, right? In fact, the same little idiot actually tried to school me on advertisements and operating systems. It was something else, actually, because me and this other guy who's in my class, he's actually an incredibly high-ranked World of Warcraft PvPer. Like, Gladiator twice, rank 1 several seasons. Like, he's crazy high-ranked. Why he's not a streamer, I have no idea. Okay, but anyways, we're talking yesterday in our programming lab about just operating systems and computers in general. And he was like, well, what operating system are you on? I'm like, Windows 7. He's like, why aren't you on Windows 10? I'm like, because I'm not an idiot. Seems like a pretty simple answer. And he's like, Windows 10 is so much better. I'm like, no, it's not. Windows 10 is a pile of hot garbage. The telemetry of it alone, the telemetry is when they're scraping data, sending it back and forth. The telemetry alone is enough for me not to buy it. That is literally enough for me not to get it. Yet alone, I'm still not convinced of the anniversary update that broke a lot of stuff. I'm still not convinced of it for streaming purposes because, you know, once again, some programs, some like indie programs aren't really updated for Windows 10. So you have to be really careful, especially stuff like audio routing softwares. Those are very, very touchy. And if they don't like your operating system, they just won't work. Well, as you would expect, you know. But you know what I mean. So this little idiot chimes up, and he's trying to tell me about the ads on Windows 10 and how ad revenue works. And it was something else to behold at that time, because he's trying to tell me about YouTube ad revenue. The person who has literally made it his job to not just try and succeed on YouTube, but succeed at YouTube analytics, YouTube statistical understandings, okay? He's trying to tell me about this. And he's trying to tell me how Microsoft generates its revenue. And it's mind-boggling on the level of stupidity. It really is. Because he was saying that, you know, they're not going to make they're going to make most of their money on the they're not going to make a lot of money per click ad. They're going to make it on, like, you know, this other stuff, that stuff he's totally wrong about. Okay. Maybe semi-wrong, just wrong nonetheless. And I looked at him, I'm like, do you think a company the size and power of Microsoft cares about per ad click revenue? Just sit and think about this. A company that generates, let's see here, Microsoft 2016 revenue. Annual report, here we go. In 2016, Microsoft generated $85.3 billion. Billion with a B. Do you think for even a second they care about per click ad revenue, even at like $12 per thousand? No, they don't. They don't care at all. And the fact that you would think that's how Microsoft would do business with an ad agency is stupid at best. Look, I don't work for Microsoft. I'm not in the accounting department. I don't know any of this for fact. What I do know is a little tiny bit about corporate politics. I know an ever so slight amount of experience in corporate politics. And I can tell you, these deals are not done on, you know, oh, we'll put our ad on and you can take, you know, so much money per 1,000 clicks. No, it is, here's a pile of money, put our ad up and we'll just take the ad revenue back. Pretty much. They'll just hand them a pile of money to just get the ad on Microsoft. And then Microsoft will also take a split, but they'll get a pile of money in the ad bank, in the marketing bank. So for somebody to not have, but once again, when you're 17, you have literally not lived enough days in time to have that understanding, to have that rationale of how business works. Because I hate to tell you this, but business is a very shady system. Very shady. And if you think it's all clean, cut, dry, you could not be wronger. It is wet, dirty, muddy, super toxic, a little bit radioactive. It's a lot of different things. But yeah, there is that. So that is why I hate young people. I don't know how we got on this topic, but I just had to get that off my chest. And yes, I hate children. I hate young people. Love babies. Love babies. Hate children. Love babies. Anything from a baby to a toddler, I can handle. Anything upwards of the age of 5 is where I'm done. 5 is like the hard cutoff point where I'm just like, I do not want to deal with your child anymore. Yeah, I work as a salesman, so I got you. Yeah, see, man, you got it. You and I, we understand it. I have had so many sales jobs in my life. So many. So many to the fact that I never want to look at sales ever again. Just ever. At least not at the capacity of I'm on a sales floor anymore. I don't mind doing online sales, like promotions and marketing and all that. I can do all that from here, but I don't ever want to go to like a Best Buy store and work on the floor ever again. That part of my life is done, and if I ever had to go back, I might kill myself on Facebook. See how I tied that? See how I made that whole circle? That's called quality. That's called showmanship right there, Billy. Oh, speaking of Billy, actually, you guys want to see something cool? It's done, but I don't know why the alert system is not like working up to code, as it were. But this is a new follower alert I made just because I was bored and had the idea to make this. Let it just render out here, and I'll show you guys this new alert. It's actually pretty baller. I'm pretty proud of it, to be perfectly honest with you. But yeah, it's almost done rendering here. So, in the meantime, what have you guys been up to, man? It's been a few days. I've been playing more games on the channel. It's not saying Daily Chat's going away. I am not saying the Daily Chat's going away. In fact, the Daily Chat in the summer is going to come back better than ever. Because I'm going to work on a new intro, new outro, everything. The Daily Chat's not going. I do realize the production quality of it has actually taken a hit. Mainly because I formatted my computer and I'm just too lazy to put everything back. That's really the long and short of it. But no, the Daily Chat's not going away, even though I'm playing more games. There's 24 hours in a day. There's plenty of time for me to put games and the Daily Chat on the same channel. So just please keep that in mind. I will never abandon this talk show. It's what brought me to the dance. It's what you guys seem to like the absolute most, and it's something I'm never going to give up. Let's see. Sorry, going back to the chat channel. Yeah, I couldn't do retail or anything, but I work for a company that sells to vendors that builds gearboxes. Ah, gotcha. Okay. That's different. That's like professional sales. That is wildly different from the world of retail sales. Retail sales are garbage. I legitimately feel bad for anyone having to work retail sales because they are awful. Professional sales are different. It has a different air about it, different expectancy about it, and a different clientele about it, and it makes it a much nicer place to work. Here is the new. Here's just. It's not the new alert replacing it. It's just a new alert. But yeah, it's something basic. There's like typing sounds and all this. I don't know why it's not working. What the hell? Oh, that's why. Got it. I'm sorry, that's my fault. Let's try that one more time. This time put it right to the right time. Yeah, look at that. Come on. That looks pretty sweet, doesn't it? Like, you gotta give me credit. That looks pretty neat for a follower alert. Like, normally you'd get that type of stuff for subscribers. You don't get that for followers. For followers, you get like, hey, thanks. Retail sales would make me kill myself on Facebook. Yeah, dude. I don't know how anyone does it. Retail sales is just, oh god. It's so bad. Looks nice, man. Yeah, thank you. I'm really happy with it. Now, I don't know why it keeps breaking. I'm going to talk to the programmers tomorrow. Because, like, I had already put all the sound assets in and everything, and for some reason it just didn't save anything, which is very annoying. In fact, I found out I have an error today on my PC. I can't save to my own C drive. I don't know how that happened. But I think it might have something to do with the host file, so I have to go in and edit that. But I'm like, really? I can't save to my own C drive? How stupid is that? So yeah, I'm gonna go do that. But there you guys go. That's a new follower alert I was working on. See, here's the thing. Ever since I got my new alert system, I have been actively trying to not only create very nice and flashy intros, but very subtle and clean follower alerts. Very subtle ones. Like, you know, like the daily chat. The daily chat right now. Here it is.
Am I so out of touch? No, it's the children who are wrong.
There's the daily chat alert. It's so simple and basic, but it looks so clean and good. So yeah, there's that. And yeah, I'm trying to work on it. And obviously it's a piece of software, so it's still in development. But yeah, we're getting there. I'm pretty happy with it. Now, one thing you guys will have noticed over the last few days is I have been playing a different variety of games other than Overwatch. I'm playing Smite again. And we are now diving into H1Z1 King of the Kill. I have no idea how to play that game. Not a clue, but I can tell you I'm having a blast with it. I die really soon, but I have a blast with it. And, you know, over time we'll get better. And the reason why we're doing it is because, well, we have PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds coming out. And I want to actually make a good run at that. Because Battlegrounds is one of those games that there's very few games on Twitch where you can try and make a stand for yourself. Stake your claim, as it were, and build your audience on. And Battlegrounds is one of those games that you will be able to do it with because it's pretty much H1Z1 King of the Kill from the guy who made it. So I have a big actual feeling that a lot of people are going to head over to Battlegrounds and leave H1Z1. H1 is my main game. I have almost like 2K hours on it. Damn, man, you and I should play sometime then. Get you to carry me to rank 1. We should totally play sometime. Cause I wanna get good at that game. I really, really do. I can't hear anyone in that game though. I know there's a voice system, but I can't hear anyone. I can't talk. So I'm kind of at a loss for that. But I did play Battlegrounds on the open beta weekend. It was really fun. I enjoyed it. But yeah, we'll play some H1Z1, get ready for Battlegrounds, because Battlegrounds, I don't know when it's coming out. But I do want to make sure that I'm good to go, because if I can be good at it, man, it's a good time to try and build viewership. Problem with H1 is the Chinese people and the bugs. Well, yeah, that's true. There's a lot of bugs in H1Z1, but I can guarantee you there's far more bugs right now in PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. Significantly more bugs. So they'll all get fixed in time with any luck or hope. They'll all get fixed in time. But yeah, I don't know when it's coming out, but I am very, very excited. I don't even know, is he going to try and do that game on microtransactions, or is it going to be a buy game? If it's a buy game, I will pay for it right now. I will buy Unknown Battlegrounds right now if it means I can get the game. But yeah, I did notice that H1Z1 does have a lot of bugs still, even long after the game's been out. Okay, let's get in to the final story of today. And it's actually a story that broke yesterday. And that is Google is joining TV and becoming Google TV. Now, that doesn't mean they're partnering with an actual network. They're actually going to host their own on-demand service kind of deal. But yeah, Google has just joined the Skinny TV bundle war with YouTube TV, a paid subscription service that streams a slew of premium broadcast and cable networks to your mobile device, tablet, computer, or anything with a Chromecast. Just $35 a month, you get 6 accounts to access to live TV and more than 40 providers, including big broadcast networks like ESPN, regional sports, dozens of popular cable networks, subscriptions that include a cloud DVR with unlimited storage, A1 powered search, and personalization for YouTube Red programming. So this is really interesting because they're about to just step into a war zone with an over 100-year-old established industry. They already did it with YouTube, But they're going into the Dragon's Den, which, by the way, you can probably watch on YouTube TV, so to speak, to fight with the dragon itself. Now, they did not have CNN, and Ted Turner has said, that's a real big mistake. But you will get access to things like CBS, ABC, NBC, Fox, MTV, but not CNN. So, wow, for $35 a month, you'll get 6 accounts. Now, only 3 of them can be watching at any given time. That was restated today. But yeah, there you guys go, man. YouTube TV. Philip DeFranco did a wonderful piece on this. He gave a lot of details on it. But yeah, there you guys go, man. YouTube TV is coming out. You can watch YouTube TV, Real TV Networks, YouTube Red, all this other stuff. And it actually makes you wonder what's going to happen with YouTube Red. Because now with YouTube TV, do you just get an automatic Red subscription? Do you have to pay for both? Is there cross contamination between the two? Communist News Network? You know what, man? I've really stopped watching news networks altogether, and I sift through the terrible world of online journalism, but it's still easier for me to sift through than actually have to watch the news networks. But yeah, you see what I mean, though. Like, oh, look, all news at some point is muddied, and as long as you keep that with you, it won't be as bad for you to have to watch. So yeah, there you guys go. That's the big news that came out yesterday. If you're now a streamer, some news, other news came out yesterday of Onkbot, a very popular and what was considered defunct bot program, which was one that you used to manage your channel, run a point system, all those other kind of things, got a huge, massive update yesterday. Version 1.0.1.0 came out, and yeah, they put out a bunch of stuff. I'm probably going to do Monday's video based on it. Monday's tutorial video will be based on the new Onkbot. So yeah, there we have that. And there you guys go, man. Is there a bot that can handle submitting get or post to a predefined... Oh, well, good luck with that, bud. But yeah, that's the big thing. So if you guys haven't already, man, make sure you guys are subscribed to the YouTube channel. That does help me out a lot. Make sure you guys watch the content. That helps me out even more. But yeah, other than that, man, I'm going to cut the Daily Chad here. Go play some H1Z1. But thanks so much for tuning in. If you're watching this on the YouTube channel, the subscribe button is just below you. If you're watching this on the Twitch channel, the follow button is just above you. And if you're watching this on the Beam channel, the follow button is above you on the left side. Guys, thanks so much for tuning in. I've been Rex. This has been Daily Chat Season 2, Episode 57, and I will see all of you tomorrow. Bye, guys.